Got a busy sports Sunday, so we're bringing in the big guns, right?
That's right. Sports reporter JR Jackson joins us live from the ATL. Good morning, JR. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you here. Okay, so here's the deal. The Clippers are in the West Finals for the first time ever. Is this their year to win the title? What do you think? Finally?
Wow. I don't know if I'd go that far. I think it's amazing what they've done without Kawhi Leonard the past couple of games to even get to the West Finals. But I'm not prepared to say that the Clippers are going to win it all. I mean, the Milwaukee Bucks, they just beat out the Brooklyn Nets in a Game 7 last night. They're looking healthy relative to a lot of the other teams. So the Clippers, I mean, it's amazing. This is the first time they're going to a conference finals ever. They've existed for 51 years, but I'm not prepared to say that they're going to hoist the title. I don't think there's no back-to-back for Los Angeles. I'm sorry.
Dude, can't you give us some hope? I mean, we've never been here before.
I think the hope, unfortunately, was lost when Kawhi went down. We have no idea whether he's going to come back from his ACL injury. We don't know the extent. You know, Terrence Mann, you see him there. He had an amazing game, 39 points. He's never scored more than, I think, 25 in the pros. He averages 7 points a game. You know, if the Clippers are going to go ahead and win the championship, Paul George is going to have to rewind his entire career. He's going to have a real throwback and keep this run going.
We're going to see Chris Paul play. He tested positive for COVID-19. Is he still going to be sidelined?
Yeah, he's out for an indefinite amount of time. We don't even know specifically whether he tested positive or whether he's in a protocol, but he's out indefinitely. And if he comes back, I think the Clippers will probably go down. If Chris Paul is out, I think they stand a better chance. I'm going to take the Suns in this one.
You want to bet him a cookie?
No? I'm hurt.
You're hurt?
I don't know,
You should
man.
bet. Lynette wants everyone to win.
No, I just want the Clippers to win on this one.
Somebody has to lose.
All right.
All right, on that note, we've got some NFL players possibly facing punishment if they refuse to get vaccinated from COVID-19. So what's going on, and could this have a big impact coming up this season?
I don't think it's going to have a big impact. The punishment isn't so much a punishment, but there's still going to be a lot of the restrictions that we had last year. Social distancing, the ability not to go out and participate in marketing events. You can't sit down with your teammates. You have to grab your lunch and go. That's what will happen if you happen to be an unvaccinated player. A lot of the protocols and the rules that the NFL just shared is strictly for the preseason. So Cole Beasley, someone who plays wide receiver from the Bills, he's been outspoken about this. He doesn't want to be vaccinated. He says that he's talking to the Players Association to see if they'll kind of bring down the rules.
Okay, so JR, we know that you're in Atlanta, but we hear that you watch us every weekend. Thank you for that. So
Yes.
we know that you heard about Mark's soapbox. You heard him talking about sports writers not facing backlash for wrong predictions. You're a sports radio host. Can you explain to Mark why he's wrong?
Well, I mean, it's twofold. I mean, as a sports broadcaster, whether on television or whether on radio, the job number one is to entertain. And second of all, the job is to inform. I mean, how you want to weigh one versus the other is you can certainly debate. You know, my brand of sports radio, of sports talk, I'm going to be honest and I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm really not going to exaggerate. But we know we got plenty of other personalities who are all about the entertainment factor. They just speak to speak and rile people up.
He's not wrong. But, JR, if I may ask you, who do you think is the greatest player on the Utah Jazz ever? I mean, you have a long list of guys. Who's the greatest on the Jazz ever?
It's still Karl Malone. I know Donovan Mitchell has a future there, but in Donovan Mitchell's future probably isn't going to be with the Jazz long term, so it's still Malone.
That's why JR is my sports guy. See, I wouldn't say that about JR. Stephen A. Smith, that's a different story, but JR is always right in my book.
Well, all I know is you still owe him cookies.
That's well.
So
And when you,
I'm gonna be out there and see you guys in a few weeks. So listen, I didn't forget my cookie, okay?
aren't we doing something with? We're doing with Casey. You're coming too. We're doing something at USC, is it? Where we're going to do a seminar with you or something?
So we're gonna do that. I have a college tour later on this year. I can't wait for you guys to be a part of it. I'm taking my brand of sports talk radio onto the road, onto campuses. So I'm looking forward to that in the fall.
Awesome. We're going to do that with you, and you're going to come here. You're going to be with us here on the weekend show, right?
I'm going to be there with you in a few weeks, and hopefully, yeah, I'll see you guys in person. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, JR. Thank
Always
you so
the best
much.
when JR stops by. Thanks, JR.
All right. Talk to you later.
No doubt.
Fun stuff, right?
And Mark, he's just gloating over there.
Oh,
He's like,
I mean, he
okay.
helped me prove my point,
I know,
which is
right.
always great. Yeah.
He was supposed to say no, Mark. You're so wrong. But he
No,
did
that's
it.
your job.
That's your
Lynette.
job, Lynette.
You're so good at it. Oh, I'm glad that went well, and I can't wait to meet him.